Löwenbräu, US ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ, German pronunciation, is a brewery in Munich owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev. Its name means lion's brew in German. Most Löwenbräu beers are marketed as being brewed according to the Reinheitsgebot, the Bavarian beer purity regulation of 1516. History: Löwenbräu is alleged to have been founded around 1383. In 1524, German.Its, a beer brew, is mentioned in connection with the property at the address 17 Landgrube. The brewery was first mentioned in 1746 in the Munich tax records. The lion emblem originates from a 17th-century fresco in the brewing house depicting Daniel in the lion's den. In 1818, Georg Brew, a brewer of peasant origins, bought the brewery, which began to grow under his management. In 1826, brewing operations began moving to a new location on Nymphenburger Straße. The move was completed in 1851. By 1863, Löwenbräu had become the largest brewery in Munich, producing a quarter of the city's beer output. The brewery was formally incorporated in 1872 under the name Aktienbraueres Löwenbräu. As brewer and owner, Ludwig Brew acquired the neighboring properties of Nikolausen ASSL, a beer wort. By Brew's order in 1882 and 1883, the Rank brothers built the Löwenbräu according to the plans of Albert Schmidt on the brewery's property. The grand opening of the Löwenbräu was on the 14th of June 1883. In 1886, the lion trademark was registered. Around the turn of the century, Löwenbräu was the largest brewery in Germany, though strongly dependent on exports. The export business was affected by World War I. For example, the Löwenbräu London depot closed for the duration, making its employees redundant. In 1921, Löwenbräu merged with Unionsbrauereien and Amp. CIE in Munich Burger Brew, two other breweries. These mergers brought Löwenbräu more property, including the Burger Braukeller. In 1928, the company's beer production first exceeded 1 million hectoliters per year. The supervisory board of the new corporation included Wilhelm von Fink, one of the owners of Burger Brew, and Joseph Schullein, who was Jewish. Schullein's later tenure as the company's owner led the Nazis to deride Löwenbräu beer as Jews beer. An Allied air raid in 1945 destroyed the brewery. After the war, an agreement was reached with the Schullein heirs, who had fled to the United States, to ensure the survival of the brewery. It resumed the export of beer in 1948, first to Switzerland. Löwenbräu's market position in Upper Bavaria, and financing made possible by its large real estate holdings, helped drive worldwide sales of the beer. In North America, Löwenbräu came to be considered the archetype of Munich beer, as shown by its presence at the Montreal Expo in 1967. In 1975, Miller Brewing acquired the North American rights to Löwenbräu. Miller began brewing Löwenbräu with an Americanized recipe, and exports of Munich Löwenbräu to North America ceased. In 1999, the North American rights to Löwenbräu passed to the Labatt Brewing Company, which began to brew Löwenbräu in Canada for both the Canadian and U.S. markets with the same recipe used in Germany. Labatt's production of Löwenbräu ended in 2002 and exports of Munich Löwenbräu to North America resumed, although on a much smaller scale than had been the case before the Miller deal. In 1997, Löwenbräu merged with Spaten Franziskaner Brau to form the Spaten Löwenbräu Gruppe, which was sold to Interbrew in 2003. In 2004, Interbrew merged with Ambev to form InBev, which 2005 acquired Anheuser-Busch to form Anheuser-Busch InBev. Proposals to relocate the Löwenbräu brewery out of the Munich city centre have failed, despite the company's international ownership. Today, Löwenbräu has one of the oldest beer gardens in Munich. In 2014, Labatt regained the Canadian rights to ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ and began brewing ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ at the London, Ontario brewery, producing a smaller, 473 ml can and soon after releasing a 341 ml bottle. In November 2014, Canadian sommelier, wine consultant and writer Jamie Drummond called for a boycott of the Canadian-made ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ in the online publication Good Food Revolution, claiming the new product to be inferior, different in taste to the original. Oktoberfest. ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ beer has been served at every Oktoberfest in Munich since 1810. Because only beers that are brewed in Munich are permitted to be sold at Oktoberfest. ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ is one of 6 breweries represented, along with Augustiner Brau, Hofbrauhaus, Hackers Core, Paulaner, and Spaten. For the Oktoberfest, ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ brews a special Marzen beer called Oktoberfest Beer of Wiesen Beer. 2 of the large tents at Oktoberfest, the ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ Festal and the Schützenfest Zelt, are sponsored by Lambrau. Oktoberfest beer, also known as Münchner beer, is a registered trademark of the Club of Munich Brewers. Bavarian beer and Munich beer in particular are protected by the European Union as a PGI. Beers, ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ original for export. ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ Münchner Hell, a Munich Hells. ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ Münchner Dunkel, a dark lager. ʻloʊ.ənbraʊ Triumphator, a Doppelbock. ʻloʊ.änbraʊ Alkoholfrei, a non-alcoholic beer. ʻloʊ.änbraʊ Urtyp, a traditional Hells. ʻloʊ.änbraʊ Pils, the hoppiest of Munich's Pilsners. ʻloʊ.änbraʊ Dunkel Weiss, a Hefeweizen. ʻloʊ.änbraʊ Löwenweiss Hell, a Hefeweizen. ʻloʊ.änbraʊ Radler beer, a Radler. ʻloʊ.änbraʊ Oktoberfest beer, a Marzen brewed for Oktoberfest.